Welcome back, my viewer. This is your girl Naomi, bringing you family vibes. On this week's episode, we'll look at postpartum challenges that we face as men and women, especially in the modern day society. Many may ask, what is postpartum challenge? That is a question that many may ask themselves but may not find the right answers to that. And I would basically define postpartum challenge as any change that comes to a man or a woman after the delivery of a child, be it a newborn, a second child, or even a fifth child like me. And many people encounter these challenges, but we rarely talk about them. Studies and scientists have shown that more than 40% of people in the low-income and middle-income countries encounter these challenges. But in the developed countries, only about 6.5% suffer from these challenges. And in the African continent, we are still way behind in talking about these issues, yet they are issues that many of us face on a day-to-day basis. What happened to me after my delivery with my firstborn? You may want to ask. It was not easy. You know, being a new mom, holding a new baby, and all the emotions that are running high and wide in your mind. The changes in your body, the bleeding, the aftercare, and all that. It was not easy. Were it not for the support that probably I received on my end, I would have suffered that challenge, that depression at that time. With my consecutive children, it was not as bad as in the first child because I had learned a few things on what to do. But I would like to categorize the postpartum challenges in three main categories. One of them is emotional. We encounter so many emotion roller coasters, especially because of the change in hormones, the bleeding, the aftercare, especially for mothers who have undergone C-section, and even not understanding whether you are really taking care of your baby as you should. Is your baby feeding enough? Do you have enough breast milk? And those who don't have milk, what do? Some people find themselves with a lot of anger, irritability, yet it is not their will. Their will would be to take care of their baby and be happy ever after, but it never happens. The second category of these challenges is the physical challenges. You find that definitely your body will change. You'll encounter so many changes. Some of us become big, some become small, some just bounce back and snap and get that snap waist. But so many people struggle with that issue of weight loss. What happens if you have a spouse or a family member who is not supporting? And some of them are like, now umenona siku hizi. You find it becomes so demoralizing to you, and that can lead to even postpartum depression. Another issue that has been overlooked is the financial aspect after delivery. You know, with a newborn, there are so many changes. There are so many financial implications. As much as tunasema mtoto huja na sahani yake, there definitely is some input that you need financially. One of them is the cost of diapers. Currently, they were really escalated. The cost of diapers, milk, especially for those women who find themselves without enough milk, and even for the other family members, how you meet their daily needs in terms of their food, supply, and even other needs. So some of these challenges are not identifiable as easily as people think. But as doctors say, it takes about the first to the second week to overcome these challenges when you have the right support. And that one is acceptable. Some call it the blue postpartum challenge. It means you are adjusting your life to this newborn, the lack of sleep, the breastfeeding part of it, the bleeding that goes away, and even the C-section wound that eventually heals. But there's those people who go beyond the 2 weeks. These are the people that we really need to focus and to embrace them, to talk to them, to have them fight counsel even from professionals. Personally, I give a disclaimer, I'm not a psychologist, I'm not a doctor, but I've done my little research on postpartum depression. And therefore, these people require as much support as we can give to them to enable them to overcome that phase. If you have other children, they also play a big role because, like in my case, when I got my fourth born, I think that is the time I really encountered this challenge that almost led me to depression. You may wonder why, having nurtured 3 other children. But I'll tell you, with my 4th born, I never used to sleep most of the times. He was this cry baby, always crying, tantrums, not wanting to breastfeed. He doesn't want to be held by the father. He doesn't want anybody's company, only needs the mother to be there. And it got a toll on me. It reached a point that I would sit on my bed and just cry. My husband would ask, why are you crying? I'm here to support you. But I was not crying because he's not supporting me. I was crying because I'm now helpless on what I need to do to this child to make the child calm down. And that is the point that led me to focus on studying, researching about postpartum challenges and the depression. I almost got myself into one. And through my husband and other support systems, and even above all prayers, I was able to navigate through that period. And I would never want to see any other woman not getting the support to navigate through such a period. With my 5th born, it was kind of walkover. God had my prayer and gave me a quiet and a calm baby, and I'm thankful for that. But what of that woman out there who doesn't have that support? What do? You can reach out. We have counselors everywhere, even in those public hospitals, in private hospitals. We have those counselors. Go out and speak. Don't allow yourself to wallow in that pain alone. And for the husbands too, I happened to encounter a case of a friend of mine who gave me a scenario that really got me in tears. The husband, one of his friends was married. They had 1 son, and on the day that the mother went to deliver the 2nd child, unfortunately, the lady passed on. And this man was left to take care of a newborn and the other elder son. Unfortunately, not many people would understand that even men go through postpartum challenges. That man went through it all. And this friend of mine told me they had to take turns to visit him, to go and take care of him, so that mentally he can become stable and even be able to go back to work. That is the support system that I'm talking about. The other group of people that really face these challenges are women who have carried a pregnancy to term and just lose the baby. Oh my God. On this one, I don't even know what to say. I only ask God to give them that comfort, that grace to be able to carry through. And never ever tell a woman that just thank God that one is gone, you can give birth to another baby. That is the most hurting thing you can never tell a woman. Be there to comfort them. Let them cry. Let them talk it out. Let the pain flow from them so that they can heal. Because unless they heal, it becomes a wound they relive forever in their lives. Another one is the people who don't get to carry their children to term. These are people who get miscarriages. I've had a close friend of mine who actually had 5 miscarriages. It was quite painful. And may God remember her and continue to comfort her. 5 miscarriages is not a joke. And these people require our support. The society, the church, those counselors out there even offering free services. These are the people we need to reach out to. A woman losing a pregnancy is just like losing a baby who is already in term. Remember, she has carried that child and that bonding was already happening. So they need our support as much as we can. And finally, on this issue, it's a very wide issue that we cannot really talk about it today to completion because there are so many other aspects. I hope in the near future I'll be able to bring counselors on board, doctors on board, to be able to tackle this issue of postpartum challenges and where people can get the professional help. But if also need be, you can reach out to me and I'll be there to talk, to listen to you and offer the comfort that I can. Thank you, my viewers, and stay tuned for the next episode. Naomi with Family Vibes. Cheers.